Hi everyone. We're going to continue on in our finger exercise series. Hopefully you guys have had a chance to look over the first video that I did, and that was just a basic tutorial of getting us basically involved in doing single note runs, just laying down some groundwork, and we had a very simple exercise and pattern that we played. So today what we're going to do is we're going to add to that. We're going to add two more patterns so that you have some other finger movements to do. But before we get started, let's do a quick review of that. First off, let's talk about the metronome. We learned that in the metronome, when we're playing at these slower speeds, when we're learning things like finger exercises where we really need to slow them down to get started, we can double the metronome. So for instance, we wanted to play at 30 beats per minute. My metronome only went down to 40, but we found that we can double that time from 30 to 60, which got our ands, the and, or if you want to consider it the up, the down, up, down, up, down, up, it got all that in there, 1 and 2 and. So now the metronome was clicking on every single note that we played. And we're going to use that same theory today. We're going to do the same thing as far as doubling the tempos. Other thing was playing the notes. A lot of us have just strummed the ukulele, so the idea of playing individual notes was something new. So we decided we're going to start off with the thumb. There's other techniques to play, but let's use our thumb for now. The thumb works very, very well unless you become where you're playing some extremely fast passages. The thumb is really a good member of the hand to use to pick these individual notes. Now, we used it the same as we did in the finger picking. It was a down motion, and we're going to do the same thing today with that. The other thing is that we assigned the fingers to spaces, and we're going to do the same thing today. Doesn't mean they're always going to be playing in the same way, but we're going to have the index assigned to the first fret, we're going to have the middle assigned to the second, ring finger assigned to the third, and the pinky assigned to the fourth. So now let's just do a little bit of a review on that first exercise. I think we had it set at 30 beats per minute. We doubled that. So I'm going to go on and set my metronome here to 60. And we're going to do just a really quick review, very slow through this. So here we go. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Now we doubled the pinky to go back. 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So that was our first exercise that we started out with. So today I'm going to give you another exercise. This one here, you'll notice on your sheet, and the sheet that I'm going to send out will have all three of these exercises, so you'll only need the one sheet now. This exercise here is a little bit different. Instead of the fingers following in their normal path, just like that, index, middle, ring, pinky, just like that, and then reversing, we're going to change this up a bit. You're going to notice that you have your index, then you go to your ring, then you come back to your middle, and then to your pinky. So you get, and we're going to do the very same thing. We're going to do this here, then we're going to march to the third string, then we're going to go to the second, then we're going to go right down here to the first string. Now when we come back on this one, we're going to do exactly the same thing. We're not going to double the pinky. That's a little complex. That's something that you can do later on if you want. We're going to go on and just repeat it starting with the index. So we're going to finish like this. Then when we go back, we're going to start on the index, down to the third string, just like that. Now for some of you, if you're adventurous and you want to do this and these exercises are coming easy to you, when you get down here, you can reverse this pattern with the pinky, middle, ring, index. So you can play it that way. But I would suggest going on and just doubling. When you end with the pinky and you're ready to start over again, I would go back to the index and let the index march down like that. But again, if you're comfortable doing it the other way, that's fine, all right? So let's go on and take a look at this. We're going to take this up a little faster. I'm assuming that you guys have worked on this. So my metronome went to 40. So that's the lowest it went. So if I wanted to double that time, I had to take that to 80. So we're going to go up to 80. You can hear that right there. 1 and 2 and 3 and just like that. So here we go. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and now I'm going to double on my index here. And let's do that again. Repeat with the index. 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and repeat index 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 just like that. Okay? Now again, if you've played this and you get very comfortable, when you get down to that bottom and you've played your index, ring, middle, pinky, you can reverse that if you want to just make a little note and go pinky, middle, ring, index. But that's, if you're real comfortable for this and you want to try that, you can go on and do it. That's just another little modification on this exercise, but it's totally fine to come down here and after you play the pinky, you stay on that string but use your index. And so what we're really doing is just repeating the pattern, only we're walking back down like that, okay? So that's that. Now let's take a look at this third pattern. This is a little different in that we're playing in threes. We only have 3 beats we're going to play on each string. So counting this can be a little difficult. So I'm not going to count this so much because it actually takes, I believe it's 3 measures. And 3 measures of playing this, you've got back around to where your index is on the 1. So we'll use it to get started, but we're really going to just use the beats. And you'll see as soon as we start how this goes. So if you take a look at this one's a little different. We do index, middle, pinky. Now we move to the 3rd string and we do index, ring, pinky. Now we go to the 2nd string, index, middle, pinky, and finally to the 1st string, index, ring, pinky. Okay? Then when we start back, we reverse this, pinky, ring, index, pinky, middle, index, pinky, ring, index, like that. Okay, so this one we are going to let the pinky, we're going to let it take us down. Okay, so once again, index, middle, pinky, index, ring, pinky, index, middle, pinky, index, ring, pinky, repeat, pinky, ring, index, pinky, middle, index, pinky, ring, index, just like that, okay? This one's a little strange, and like I said, if you tried to count it, it would sound like this. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and... Now if we would start that over again, you notice that you would be back to 1. But it takes 3 measures of counts going all the way down and all the way up to get you back. So once we get started on this, I'll count it off. We'll just go 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. It's much easier to play to the beats. Now if you want to count it, you can. Again, that's an advanced thing, and if you're comfortable counting with counting 4 beats, but you're only playing 3, and it takes 3 measures to get you back. I hope that didn't confuse you. We're going to use 80 as our beats again. I'm hoping that your fingers are getting used to this. If you need to slow it down, just go down from 80. Try jumping all the way down maybe to 72. If you need to, go all the way down to 60. And again, you're going to find that some of these exercises are easy and you'll be able to speed them up quick. Some are more difficult. So they don't all come up at the same time. You have to spend a little more time with some. So let's try this. Here we go. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and it's index, middle, pinky, index, ring, pinky, index, middle, pinky, index, ring, pinky. Repeat. Pinky, ring, index, pinky, middle, index, pinky, ring, index, pinky, middle. And now we would actually be back to 1. Index, middle, index, ring, pinky, pinky, ring, index, pinky, middle, index, pinky, ring, index, pinky. Just like that, okay? Now you'll notice there's a little pattern on that you're always playing the index and you're always playing the pinky. It's the middle finger and the ring finger that change. Sometimes it's the middle, sometimes it's the ring. But it's always going to be the pinky and the index, okay? So I hope you have a good time at that. We're going to start playing these when we get together. Maybe it's just a warm-up. We'll start slow just to kind of get everybody playing them together. Plus it gives you a chance to listen to actual single notes being played. So I hope you enjoy that. Take your time with it. Again, today we were playing, most of this was set at 80, which is actually 40 beats per minute, but I was using the eighth notes, so we doubled. So I hope you enjoy that.